What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show, presented by TLR Coatings and Durango Guitar Works. We are here wrapping up rounds 4 and 5.
Still waiting for this guy.
West Coast. Cole is not here. He's late. He said he was going to be here, but shockingly, he's late. That's not really a surprise at all. Even the camera guy managed to make it 5 minutes before coming in late. Max back there, the man behind the camera there, doing the edits now. So if stuff is bad or you guys don't like it, please send all hate emails to 601 Media there. Would be great. Find them on Instagram. Anyway, like I said, we were wrapping up rounds 4 and 5 here. Salt Lake City 4 and 5. That's so weird to say.
We got 2 rounds to go, man.
We only got 2 to go.
Tell you what, when you start doing the 2 races a week, stuff goes by quickly.
Clicks off
It's
fast.
crazy, man.
Fast. So anyway, before we get started here, like I said, we are presented by TLR Coatings and Durango Guitar Works. So custom powder coating, custom guitars. We're basically, if you own a custom shop, call us because we will put you on the show.
It's all custom, man.
All there is to it. We're all custom here. Custom cars, custom tattoos,
custom shoes,
custom everything, okay? Yeah. Show me your shoes. Show me your work shoes. Put one up, dude. Put one up. Yeah, dude. No slip. The Fila's.
That's great.
I like all the flower on them. That's gangster. So anyway, make sure to follow us on all the major social media networks. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm sure Cole was not tweeting like he should have been. Max over there running the Instagram now. He was just at Baja for the qualifiers, so he will be throwing up lots of sick edits here as we go along.
Fire
Also, if you want to support us in a monetary way, there's Patreon, there is Amazon links, there's T-shirt links, there's all that crap in the description down below. It's a great way. It's Monday.
God, Travis.
Monday's going great.
Travis is getting excited.
Oh my God, I can't handle this. All those links are in the description down below. Also, the best way to help us out is just to like, subscribe, comment, share. Let us know what we're doing wrong and or right. Mostly wrong, because obviously we do a lot wrong. A few things right, mostly wrong. So anyway, that will help us the most. So let's talk tracks for just a second here.
I'm going to be upfront with you, since Wednesday was so many days ago, I don't remember too much of everything that went. I remember the mains. I don't remember too much of everything going on because that's way back.
Well, yeah, so I've changed up my whole note-taking thing here. I basically put the major points from both rounds. I basically divided them because I have them divided when I take the notes. I put the major points down, but I don't have like I usually do where it's like, oh, so-and-so did this, 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 and this, and then so-and-so did this, 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 and this. Nah, we're not.
It's the only downfall of having 2 races a week. When one of the races happens in the middle of the week, it's hard to remember everything that happened.
Yes. Now, what I do remember about round 4 is that it was the exact same track as round 3, just we went the other way.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So they did make a couple of changes, but other than that, we just went the other way. But other than that, kind of surprised and happily surprised that they've done as many changes to the track as they have throughout the weeks here.
Well, I don't want to jump since we're talking about round 4, but the one thing I'll say about before we or with the round 5 is I liked all the flat corners. Most people don't like it. It's very one line. Everybody just stays tight to the corner, but it really shows who has good technique and who doesn't. And once again, narrow. Everybody's going to go to the inside, but it switches something up because and they even said it in the broadcast. It's something you don't see. Like Chad was talking about that. You just don't see a lot of flat corners in Supercross unless you're coming back around the start straight. But yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised, and I don't exactly remember the layouts for the next 2 rounds, but I know that the final round.
Honestly, I have no idea. I usually watch them the day of.
The final round, if I remember correctly, or maybe it is the Wednesday round. One of these rounds, the layout's going to be very, very interesting. There's a lot of different options. I can't remember which one it is, but I had heard something about how one of these rounds they were just basically going to throw everything at it, and it was going to be like a normal Supercross track. It was going to be very, very technical, a lot of different rhythms. Whoop section was going to be pretty gnarly. But like I said, I can't remember if it's the Wednesday round or the final round. I would assume the final round with it being the East-West shootout. But one of these rounds, we're going to get a lot of different variations. Because last night's track, let's be honest, was very basic.
It was. But one thing I did like you, the flat corners, and the start straight being all the way on the outside of the stadium. Because like they said in the broadcast, or maybe it was the qualifying, you don't normally see that in the football stadiums where they're all the way to the outside and you run it down in.
And we had some action in the first turns.
We had some action.
We had a lot of action. Pretty much every race there was
action, which we'll get to. But before we get to that action, let's talk fantasy.
I don't remember my Wednesday team. I remember my Wednesday score. Last night, I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about last night very much either.
I'm pretty sure we were separated by 2 points. Either I was
I
2 points
beat you,
behind,
or-
either I was 2 points behind you, or 2 points ahead of you.
If I beat you by 2 points, then you were really sad.
Yeah, no, it was sad. Like I said, I can't remember if you beat me by 2 points or I beat by you 2. I just know that we were separated by 2 points.
My Wednesday
terrible.
was great.
My Wednesday was okay. Once again, with me not really being able to get on the internet, I picked my stuff the night before and just kind of hoped. I don't remember my team, but I remember I ended up with like 250, 249, 250, something like that for Wednesday.
Oh, I beat you.
Yeah, dude. Well,
I'm
that's
pumped.
my only thing. That's my only thing is I have to pick my yesterday. I had to pick my stuff on Saturday because I just don't get a chance to do it the day of with me working. But I think it was like 250 for Wednesday, and then last night I remember my team. 450 was Coop, Martine, Bowers, and Boss, and then 250s was Hunter, Justin Cooper, which Justin Cooper. God, who was the other two? Derek Kelly and Mitch Oldenburg. So there was like only 2 people that did anything for me.
Solid.
And it was like funny because I got home and I had to wait for the race to go on replay because I got home during the race. I was looking at the qualifying times. I didn't want to see anything else, and I was like, my team's looking pretty good. If that's any indication of how the race is going to go, and I was like, no. I was like thinking Benny was going to give me a full 52 points.
Benny, so let's just back up here a second. So I have my stuff written down. So Wednesday, round 4, I scored 262 points.
Okay.
My best round so far of these Salt Lake City rounds.
Is it your best round of the year?
No. I scored a 3-something a couple of times, I think. So anyway, so 262, I had Derek Drake for 28, Justin Cooper for 26, McAdoo's got me that full 52, and then I had Jet, who obviously had a couple spills, and we'll get into that later, with 12. And then the 450s, I had Party Marty, and the party was rocking on that night with 36. Webb scored me 26, Baggett got me 52, and then Chiz scored me 30. So like I said, a very, very solid Wednesday night for me, and I was pumped. I was like, yes, we're making moves here. Then we get into yesterday. And where I really fucked up here is I was listening to JT's podcast in the morning when I was working, and I was listening to him talking about, if you're not leading, you might as well send it. And I was like, well, I'm not leading nothing right now. As far as that goes, I might as well send it. So I sent it hard yesterday.
Sending it as far as big handicaps or guys that you would
assume?
Oh, okay.
Yes. So let's start with the 250s because that actually was not that bad. So first off, I picked Camprese.
Oh, Carlos Camprese.
Yes, who managed to get absolute last place. He made the main and then
but he had a huge
to get
handicap,
absolute
right?
last place. Yeah, 13.
Okay.
So scored double points no matter what.
It's like a Logan Carnell situation.
28.
Okay, yeah.
So whatever. Hunter Lawrence, 38. That was
which
solid.
is good. Yep.
Solid score.
Yep.
I had Dylan, 23. I mean, it was between Dylan and Fortner, whoever you picked for your All-Star. And then I had Mitchell Falk, who got 34. So the 250s, I was fairly solid.
Not bad.
Then we go to 450s.
And then it just fucking collapses.
Alex Ray crashes in the first
Dude,
corner.
I'm telling you, man, it's like this love-hate thing with A-Ray.
And on top of it, takes out my next guy, Carlin Gardner. So I have 2 guys.
Carlin didn't finish the race, did he?
Don't make the main.
Oh, yeah, he didn't even make the main. Oh, that's
Neither
right.
one
It was
of
in the
them.
LCQ.
That was in the LCQ.
Yeah, I remember he was sitting on the inside hay bale.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
So 2 zeros there to start with. Followed up by Benny Bloss, who decides to screw all of us after having an amazing qualifying time and an even better heat race.
Well, that situation, too, was a shit show. It took everybody out in that left-hander.
12 points for him. And then I had Osborne as my all-star. 26, bro. 26. Solid points there. However, where I fucked up here, I had Osborne as my first lap leader.
Which would, after the last couple rounds, would be a good
solid pick. I mean, it's
pick,
between him and Webb.
His starts have just been on points.
Yes.
So yeah.
But of course, this is the one he doesn't get. I mean, it wasn't a horrible start. He was top 5.
Yeah.
But it wasn't great. So, lost another 14 points there.
Yep.
So, yeah, that scores me a solid 154 points.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I'm really debating on whether even to keep doing this come outdoors. I'm going to finish out the Supercross season, and I'm really debating whether to keep dedicating my time to this.
I'm coming back for outdoors, bro. I'm making a comeback for outdoors.
It is funny, though, because I feel like I feel like I always do better outdoors just because I have a little bit more knowledge of like East and West Coast privateers, so that always kind of helps me out. But man, Supercross just the last 2 years like starts off really, really good, and then it just goes to shit halfway into the season.
So here's the thing. I'm far enough ahead of you, Wyman, and, and Ashley.
Matt's not even trying anymore at this point since he missed one of the rounds.
That at this point, I'm just going to send it the last 2 here, too, and see what I can make happen.
I think the East-West showdown is going to be the one that if anybody's close in their leagues is going to be where you're going to see did you send it. If they're just going to go for broke because with obviously you having both of them, I think that's going to be where you're going to make up a lot of points just because you have a lot more to choose from. But at this point, man, with me missing the Atlanta round, like I've been so far back and I just... Even if I were to beat you guys by 40 points every round, I'm missing that round, I can't make it up. So
I was going to say, I'm down like 180 or 191 points to Cole, so my only way to even remotely try to get close to him and catch him is to send it. Yeah, at this point.
You got to have really good rounds the next 2 rounds.
So we're going to try. I mean, but I could probably have a couple rounds, but the last 2 rounds I could probably score like 100 points in both rounds. So anyway, we play on Pulp MX Fantasy. It's obviously super late in the season for you to get in to win really anything. We are giving away prizes to the top 3 again. And you can find our league. It's the Moto Aftermath Show League on there. But if you want to get in for outdoors, because we have not started outdoors yet, we don't start till the 18th of July, right?
Yep.
You should get in, play the last couple of rounds just to get used to it, so that way we come outdoors. You have an idea of what you're doing because we'll give away prizes for that too. And man, we'll talk after this, but I got some big ideas for next year.
Oh, for the fantasy stuff?
Yes. I have one super huge idea.
Dude, our league has actually gotten pretty big. Obviously not compared to other leagues. Yeah, not compared to other leagues, but where we started to where we are now.
We've gained a few people here in the Salt Lake City round, which I'm impressed with. So anyway, that's it for fantasy talk here. I guess we'll take a quick break here. We'll jump into 250s and start breaking this down for our 2 West Coast rounds that we had. Okay, 250 talk here. So like I said, I have this broken down into rounds here. Yeah. So let's just roll through. We'll roll through round 4 really quick, and then we'll go into round 5.
Okay.
So round 4, I have the main points I have here. Number 1, let's start with McAdoo coming out as a new man.
Dude, he's on it.
I mean,
he was putting in the laps.
Dude,
it definitely showed. He was putting in, dude, this whole quarantine thing, man. He was just test.
Putting in work. And we're into 250 West here. They only had 2 rounds out here of the 7. I mean, technically it'll be 3 because we'll have the top 20 for the shootout here. But basically 2 rounds of 250 West, dude. It just started with action.
Right off the bat.
First lap,
I think everybody was just all bunched up. They were just ready to go, man.
McAdoo puts Frenchie down.
Yep.
First lap.
Yeah. There's been a lot, and even more last night. There's been a lot of drama in these 2 West Coast rounds. Like I said, I don't know if it was quarantine living, people are just bunched up and pissed off, man, but dude, that's the most crazy shit that I've seen in the last 2 rounds, probably in the last year and a half as far as 250 stuff.
It was wild. Well, I mean, actually, it started in practice.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about the incident here.
With Hunter and Jet
Hunter and Fortner. Yeah. And I actually have this down, and you know what? We'll save that. We'll get into this when we talk about round 5.
Because more happened last night.
Because more happened last night, yes. So Frenchie got taken out in the heat. Jet comes back. He's basically the hype guy of the 250 West class. And dude, he was playing in the brown a lot.
Well, dude, and I was...
He's a Cole-ism.
Me and Matt Wyman were talking about this, and, you know, I've obviously been on the Lawrence brothers bandwagon and stuff, mostly more on the Hunter side, but, like, I seen Jet even way back in the EMX 2 days over in Europe. But I think the Jet's problem is the kid is so naturally talented, and we watched it when he crashed when he was leading. He's so confident in his skills that he'll always be able to bring it back. It actually works against him sometimes, and you see that a lot, where he thinks he can ride that fine line, that ragged edge, and be like, well, I just off muscle memory will bring it back, and it's hurt him a lot. Now, obviously last night was a lot better, but yeah, I was watching him going, okay, he's finally got it together, and then once again, just same old shit with him, and it's like, man, if that kid ever learns to completely calm down, though, and actually not rely on his natural talent and worry about his technique more, dude, that kid, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I mean, he already was last night, but as far as winning.
So the thing is that I heard after that round 4, because I was listening to this podcast yesterday morning before the race, when he came off the track, Daniel Blair heard him because he was the last guy to finish. He was the last one who didn't get lapped. And he's like, dude, he's just screaming the F word and punching himself in the head. And he's like, so I went over to talk to him and he was basically like, so you know what you have to do. He's like, yeah, I got to calm myself down. So he knows.
But it's easier said than done.
It is, especially when you're 16 and you're on that stage and you are...
Well, just riding a dirt bike in general.
Yeah.
It don't matter how fast you are. It don't matter if you're a local B rider or somebody at his level. It's easier said than done. Yeah, it's easier said than done to say, oh, calm down and stuff. And then when things start happening quickly, you just got to react. It's real hard not to go back to what your basics are.
Yes.
And what you're comfortable with instead of being what you're taught. But man, like I said, if that kid ever learns to completely calm down and not rely on his talent so much,
I think he will.
But that's the thing. Once again, he's 16. It might take him a few years.
Yeah.
But when it finally does, I mean, dude, he's gonna win some championships. It's just, I think that, and we're gonna see it a lot outdoors too. I think that there's gonna be nights where it was last night where he gets it a little bit, and then there's gonna be like this past Wednesday where he's just in the dirt the whole entire time.
I see with his future going forward, I see 2021 winner.
He'll win some rounds.
I see 2022 title. I think third year in is when it'll click in his head and he's going to smooth it out, calm it down, let the race come to him, let things happen in front of him where he just sits back and goes, okay, cool, I'm going to take a second tonight or a third or whatever, you know.
Like I said, it's kind of an AC situation for a long time when he first came in. He relied so much on his talent, his muscle memory and stuff instead of being precise.
Yeah.
That's what gets you into situations because when things start happening fast, it's not what you're normally used to. And then you just, oh, I think I can react. And you just don't react quick enough or you react too quickly. But yeah, I agree. I think that the next 2 to 3 years, I think that I don't know if it's going to be Supercross or outdoors. I would say Supercross first. He's going to win a championship for sure. It's just there's going to be some growing pains, and I think you'll see it a lot outdoors. I think you're going to see a lot of flashes of brilliance, but then you're going to see a lot of races where he just doesn't finish. Mm-hmm. But man, he came out swinging and stuff, and yeah, it was good though. I mean, the kid always brings excitement.
He does.
He's got balls.
And his brother makes his debut there at round 4.
Rough.
It was interesting, but he had about
jitters.
As I heard about the most exciting day you could have for your first round. I mean, he gets into it with Faulkner in practice, has to go through the LCQ, and I mean, ends up with 12th. But
it's funny though because you talk about both of them are very naturally talented. I mean, both of them have been winning at a very young age, but you couldn't talk about two polar opposite people. Whereas Jet relies on his talent. Hunter is so smooth, so precise. His technique is always spot on. He's always really centered on the bike. And that's the thing is, it's funny that even though you got the brother rivalry, and you know Hunter's 4 years older than him, but it's funny that you would think that both of them would kind of feed off each other as far as, hey, this is what I should do and what I shouldn't do. Because if Jet rode like Hunter, Jet would be doing everything we just talked about.
Yep.
So it's kind of funny when you start thinking about that, like how different they really are.
Yes. And then I guess the only other thing I have for round 4 is it starts to get interesting because Faulkner wins. So,
and we'll talk a little bit more about that as far as last night because I got some questions for you. Were you a little, and again, it's kind of the same thing with last night, Justin Cooper. Dude.
Underwhelming.
It's fallen off. Things are coming off the railroad tracks right now.
I think it's a curse of the Justins, though.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it though. Think about Cooper since he's been pro. It's happened every year in outdoors. We always talk about it. He comes out guns blazing, killing it, winning races, and then what happens every year in the outdoors? Yeah. Halfway into it.
The thing, I think the altitude, from what I've heard, I think the altitude's getting to him more than he thought it was going to.
Well, then you know what? That's also on him though. He should have been out a lot earlier.
Yes, but I don't think they knew. I don't think he's ever been to altitude to ride.
Well, no, other than Lakewood, Thunder Valley.
Yeah. But I mean, going in there for one day is a lot different.
I know.
Out there for 2, 3, 4 days and having to race every 3 days.
I can't take that excuse seriously because it's like, yes, we knew a little bit later, but then guess what? You should have, the moment that you found out, your ass should have been in Colorado or Utah.
But what I'm saying is, if you don't know that it's going to affect you.
Oh, no. Well,
because like I said, we've been to Colorado. Yeah. But I flew in the day before. I fly out the next day afterwards, so I'm there for like 3 days.
I'm just saying that you should know that if you're going to be there for that long, even if you don't know it's going to affect you that badly, you know that that's always going to be a possibility. I mean, we've known about the altitude situation, not just on the bike side of what it does to your body for years. Mm-hmm. He should have known that, hey, I should just go get adapted to it anyways, even if I don't think it's going to be a problem.
I mean, yes, but there's a lot of people it's affecting. I mean, dude, I listened to a podcast with Bowers. Bowers has been to altitude, and he's only had a problem once, and it was years ago, and in recent years has not had any, and he is suffering. Like, he is absolutely suffering. So, I mean, I think this situation here is so different than what we've seen because we don't stay at altitude.
No, we don't.
At all. So it's like, I mean, dude, and look at like Ando. Ando's just fine, and he's had it before, you know? So it's like, it's a weird situation. So like I said, I think it caught him off guard. And yes, I agree with you. You probably should have known. We probably should have, you know, but shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah,
but then again, at the same time, I'm like, dude, there's guys that have been racing way longer than him pro and been at these altitude places and never had issues that are having issues.
I agree on both sides. Man, that kid's got to figure something out, though. Like, even, you know, if that's the problem or whatever, but he's just got to figure something out because at this rate, like, he's never going to win championship because this is happening now that he's completed a full Supercross season twice now.
Yeah.
He's got to figure something out because this is every year he comes out swinging and then he just falls off halfway into a season.
Yeah.
He's got to figure something out or he's never going to win a title, which I'm not a big Justin Cooper fan, but it kind of sucks because we know how good the kid is. But yeah, I mean, he'll probably do it again in outdoors. He'll come out swinging and then halfway into the season he'll just lay goose eggs.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
So,
okay, so let's move into round 5. And dude, I just want to start with that first heat race, and I just want to say, is Fortner the biggest f***ing idiot ever?
I completely disagree. Ricky, he just pushed it in wide, and you know he didn't mean to. Dude,
no.
As a racer, you're so aware of what. Well, some people aren't, but at that level, you're so aware of what's going on. You know every little movement that you're doing as intentional, and it's like, bro, I don't want to hear, oh, he pivoted and the back end slipped into his front. It's like, bro, that corner, he could have stayed so much tighter. Yeah, he would have lost a ton of time, and Jet could have just flat tracked on the outside. But it's like he continually just kept tracking to the outside, and then in the last second, he arced it, and it's like, dude. He knew what he was doing. I completely disagree with what Ricky was saying. Oh, it was just... No, man. He knew what he was doing.
You're so dumb. He's so dumb. I want to, like, punch him in the... Like, I just want to grab him by his shirt and just, like... What are you doing? You have the skill. You have the talent. You don't have to do dumb shit. Like, just like with his brother, Hunter, on Wednesday. Dude, he gets in your way on a fast lap. And I listened to an interview that Hunter did with Gypsy Tales last night because it was talking about that. And I was like, okay, let's hear it. Because we didn't really see much other than Fortner goes by, fucking drifts way outside on the start straight, clips Hunter a little bit, and Hunter's just like, nope, we're not playing that game, and just goes, you know, straight into the corner.
That's the last dude you don't want to screw with because especially that Aussie mentality, like they don't give a shit.
I was gonna say, and you pick the two worst dudes two dudes who you're not fighting in a title fight.
Yeah, I don't
like,
really.
What are you doing?
Well, we saw that a year ago and stuff, or what was it, 2 years ago with he got into it with Heart Raft in practice, and then he got into it in the mains and stuff. And it's just once again like he is older, but he can't put his ego in check, man.
That's just who he is. Stupid.
He just does dumb shit. And I think it's funny, though, because, you know, which once again, I don't understand how 2 laps in a row, Jet tries to just run it up on the inside in that flat lap before the finish. How did Austin not realize that going sweeping wide and that's what he's been doing the whole day. He was squaring off.
Because he's dumb.
But I just thought it was funny. It's like, dude, you know that he's going to pay you back. He's going to run it up the inside.
I mean, honestly, he's lucky because if I was Jet, that front wheel would have gone right through the center of that
I think Jet was also thinking, he's like, man, I got my own shit to deal with. I got my own problems. I can't make any, you know, I can't do this. And then obviously Jet makes the mistake going into the rhythm section, coming out of the corner. I can't remember. I think he just cross-run it and then he just didn't get the lift and whatever. But I'm thinking, oh man, I'm like, Austin's going to pay him back. And then we just didn't see it again because once he made the mistake, Austin got around him and gapped him. But, yeah, I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting, and I think that's going to boil over. I don't know so much about the East-West showdown, but I think this is going to keep boiling over into outdoors because I completely disagree with them both telling Daniel, oh, it's fine. No, it's not fine. It's fine.
No.
I think Hunter probably like, hey, I forgot about it now, but between those two, it's not fine. This is going to boil over.
I heard on the Pulp Review show this morning that Jet was pissed.
Well,
he may have told Daniel, hey,
yeah, I didn't believe that for a second.
He was.
No, they're both probably pissed off. And like I said, I think this is going to boil over in outdoors. I think this is going to be a situation where, like, who was it that we were talking about that got some payback at Millville this last year? I think it was Colt Nichols and somebody else. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where it happened like months before, and then finally they got the chance to pay him back at Millville.
Yes.
I think that's going to be one of these situations. It's going to boil over in outdoors.
I mean, dude, here's the thing. It comes down to this final round here, the shootout. And now you have to work your way through them too if you don't get a start. Like, you're so dumb. Can we talk about the start Jet got in that heat race?
Dude, he's been getting... Dude, his
Holy
reaction time is insane.
fucking shit.
His reaction time is insane.
Dude,
and I think it's funny.
nuts.
Well, the funny thing, too, is it shows how much Geico has been testing. They were talking about testing months before that. Because, dude, Jet was short shifting fourth so quickly down that start straight, and that's the thing at altitude, you don't want to short shift.
Yeah.
He was short shifting fourth so quickly, and that bike just kept pulling. So it shows whatever Geico was doing testing wise, they were on, because even Hunter's starts were good.
Yeah.
So, and Christian's starts were good. Those Geico Hondas were on point.
Yes, they
last
were.
night.
Yes, they were. Okay, so Frenchie, he whole shots his heat and then crashes. Or gets taken out. Whatever, I don't remember, dude. It's all blurring together at this point. All I know is he whole shots, but he doesn't. He goes down.
Yeah.
And then he whole shots
I think
to main.
McAdoo got underneath him and just kind of pushed him wide a little bit.
Any problem with what Forkner did to Frenchie in the main?
No.
Not at all. Nope.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute.
Oh boy.
Let's talk about Austin Forkner. And as much as you hate him, and I know you do, and I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I've really been behind this kid the last year. He should have won last year. He straight up killed it on Wednesday night.
He did do it really well Wednesday.
And now he caught and passed Frenchie.
He did that too.
And I know that Frenchie closed a gap at the end, but Forkner had enough of a gap. He let him. I know the championship, 7 points. It's not a lot, but with only one round to go for them, and with only McAdoo, and we don't know what's going to go on with Garrett Marchbanks. So it might be just him and McAdoo, as far as it's somebody, a buffer that can help him. It's going to be highly unlikely that he wins this title, like I said, barring anything crazy. But with Dylan's recent struggles the last 2 rounds, anything could happen, especially now you add other guys in. But Forkner, he straight up caught and passed Frenchie, no issues, didn't get lucky, didn't get it handed to him. He caught and passed him.
Yep.
And I said that I thought Frenchie was going to win the last 3 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought that Forkner could if Frenchie had issues, but I'm just going to say I'm a little surprised, even as much as I talk about how good I think Forkner is. And you can talk about his issues, him not being the fastest guy, this and that. But I don't think anybody could sit there and tell me that they thought that if Frenchie got a good start, was out front by himself, that Forkner was going to catch and pass him like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that kind of like makes you kind of feel that this is kind of the Forkner that we were seeing last year? Because that's the first thing I was thinking of is I was like...
No, I don't think it's the Forkner we were seeing last year. But what I think it is I think he cleaned up his whoops. Whatever he's been doing, I mean, you can see it. He has not gone down in the whoops, which normally he would have.
A lot of guys work on their chassis settings over this time.
Yeah, so I think he cleaned that up, and we've seen that. Now, do I think he wins this title? Absolutely not.
Like I said, it's going to take a lot.
It's going to take an awful lot.
But if he rides like that, though, he's going to clearly win the East-West shootout. Chase and Shane McElrath are not on their level. After seeing this, for a minute I was thinking, I was like, okay, but then after watching the 2, I'm not counting the mud race, talking about the first 2 rounds and then watching these last 2 rounds, I don't care what you say, I don't care what anybody says, Chase and Shane are not on Frenchie and Forkner's level. I don't even think they're on Jet's level, as far as speed. I don't.
No, I don't. Unless he gets a start and runs away and manages to not run into a whole bunch of lappers, I don't think he wins it.
As far as?
The shootout.
Forkner?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I think he's got too many enemies here at this point that are going to...
I'm not talking about that. I was talking about as far as speed. I wasn't talking about as far as...
Speed-wise, yes. I think obviously he has it to do it. And yes, speed-wise, I think him and Frenchie are the class of the field. However, like I said, I don't think unless he gets a start and somehow the track is long enough that they don't run into a whole bunch of lappers, I think he is screwed 8 ways to never. Because you really think the Lawrence brothers are going to let him... Because,
unless Jet's battling with him for the win.
They know.
Yeah.
They know what is up. And they're going to be like, you're not winning a title.
Yeah.
Either one of them. And then you have all the star guys.
I just don't feel
Colt Nichols, Justin Cooper. all those dudes. They're not winning a title. Okay, great. So do you want fucking Shane and Frenchie to win, or do you want Forkner? Dude,
here's the thing. I don't think that the East guys are going to have much of an impact. Like, yeah, Shane, Chase, and Colt will be up there, but I don't think they're going to have much of... They're not going to have much of an impact on the East-West shootout. I really hate to say it
because... That's why I said, if he doesn't run into lappers. But if they do what they've been doing, where they lap up midway through the field, you're going to see a lot of good guys get lapped there in the shootout.
I guess my point is I think the East guys are going to have a lot of trouble with the West guys.
Yes.
I really do. I think that even Chase and Shane...
West Coast is the best coast.
Yeah, as an old Emick Emig comment.
Yeah.
I just think they're going to have a lot of problems. I do. I think that they're, like I said, I think they're going to have problems with Jet and McAdoo.
Yeah.
I just do. I don't think that their speed is on par with those guys.
McAdoo is a race winner in 2021.
Oh, he might win some outdoor motos.
He's a race winner in 2021. Supercross.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay. So we basically have a really close points battle here. We've got a I don't know where that even went. We got a really close points battle in the East. Let's just run down the finishing order here. Faulkner, Frenchie, obviously. Jack gets his first podium. That was awesome. I thought he was going to cry in his TV interview.
Yeah.
I was like, don't do it. McAdoo, a solid 4th. Mosman, 5th. Mosman just been doing Mosman things.
Just top 5s.
Just top 5s and trying
making
to
dumb mistakes every
take
now and then.
people out.
Yeah, I know, right.
He has no chance at taking out. Justin Cooper against 6th. I mean, whatever. Hunter got a solid 7th.
Yeah, he's going to be.
I thought that was pretty good.
He's going to be good next year when he has a full season of testing and not coming in hurt. He's going to have a good Supercross season.
Yeah, well,
whatever
hopefully
coast
he
he's
doesn't
on.
hit the deck. Hartraft, dude, that's another one that has just been there. He's not really shown any flashes since we've come back.
Yeah,
for a
he's
guy
just-
that was on the box a couple of times before we hit the break.
I'm going to be curious how his outdoor season goes.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Derek Drake has showed some speed. He's been up
He was good in that
front.
heat race.
Yeah, so he's showed speed. Craig just plays in the dirt all day long.
Which is crazy considering how good his heat race was.
Everyone says that, man. Like, he's so smooth, but it's like, dude, is he really that smooth? Or does he just look smooth and then he hits the deck all the time?
I just still keep saying that he just doesn't want to be on the 250F anymore.
He hits
Put
the
that
deck
kid on a
way, he
450.
hits the deck way too much to ride a 450. So
Well, now if you think about it, his 450 days, he really crashed a lot. He just wasn't up front.
yeah, I mean, anyway. So Clout 11th, Oldenburg 12th, Falk 13th. No surprises here. Costello 14th, Auberson, Robbie Wageman, Carno, Howell, Kelly, Stapleton, Amart. I think something broke on his bike when he crashed. That was wild. Did you see that wild 180 stop he did at the top of the corner though? That was crazy, man. And then my boy Cam Preezy there rounding out the. You got anything else for the 250s here?
The only thing I'll say is I feel bad for Clout. Now Luke did hit the deck pretty hard about 2 weeks before they headed to Salt Lake. So I think that's part of his recent struggles, but I feel really bad for him because he was a top 5 guy those last couple rounds before we went through all this. And then with him getting hurt, because I think he hurt his hip. I think he messed something up in his thigh and his shoulder. He's the only person I feel bad for is that kid couldn't have came at a worse time because he was killing it those last 2 rounds of the West Coast before we went to East, and then getting hurt before this. This is not really a good indication of how good he was. Other than that, not really. I mean, once again, you talk about Amar, JGR just continues to have their struggles.
Poor JGR. I'm surprised
It's everything
the
Suzuki
rider,
related.
I'm surprised the riders haven't burned their rig down yet. I mean,
know, dude.
It's whatever. Anyway, okay, cool. So we'll take a quick break and then we'll come back. We'll wrap up with 450s here and then get this wrapped up with a nice bow and call it a day.
Like an actual bow?
Like an actual bow.
No.
Okay, so 450s here. We'll start again with a quick overview of round 4 and then we'll move into round 5. So before we go into round 4, Kenny announces that he's having respiratory issues. Asthma related something, and the inhaler's not working, and I mean...
Dude, it's just a weakened immune system.
It's just insane.
Well, have you seen all the stuff, though, that people, and I don't even know if you want to call them haters, because I've seen it from both sides. People that are supporters of Kenny like we are, and then people that hate on him, that they're like, oh, he's just making excuses. I'm like, all the stuff that Kenny's been through, and I get where people would come up with that, but all the stuff that Kenny's been through at this point, what does he have, what benefit does he get of coming up with, oh, I have asthma now? Like, what is it? Okay, people be like, well, it can make up for if he has a bad performance, because people have always said, well, Kenny is only hurting when his results are lacking. But when he's killing it, fine, things are fine. All the years we've been riding dirt bikes, you're going to sit there and tell me that Kenny's the first person for that to miraculously happen. There's just days where you're feeling it and it's all, you're fine. And then there's days where you're just okay and still off. Like, really? Like, I don't know where people would come up with, oh, he's making that up. Why the f would he make up the fact that he has asthma? Why would he make that? Of all the things he could say, he could come up with just be the easy one and be like, oh, my arms are just hurting. But he comes up with asthma and people are like, oh, he's making it up. All the stuff that he could come up with and say what is affecting his performance, and he could say his arms, and that'd be the easy thing to go to, but he comes up with that. That's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
People are idiots on the internet.
Well, now we find out he has shingles.
Yeah.
Which is like, dude. You know, I really hate to say this before we talk a little bit more about Wednesday. I really hate to say this, and I've said it on the group text. I don't see Kenny racing too much longer. There's no reason for him to keep putting his body through all this stuff. It's pointless, you know what I'm saying? He's made enough money, he has enough connections. He doesn't need to do this anymore. And as painful as that is for me to say, as much as I love Kenny, there's no point in him to keep racing. I say he races out his contract and he's done.
Maybe.
I do not see him re-signing after his... When's his contract up? 2 years from now?
I think 2 years, yeah.
I don't see... There's no point.
That'd be crazy to have two of the juggernauts of the era just retire at the same time,
Wow.
Eli and him.
We're looking at possibly a lot. I mean, you're looking at Eli, Kenny, Marvin. I mean, you're looking at a lot.
Supposedly Marv started riding.
Yeah, whatever.
Supposedly.
We'll see. But anyways.
That's what Frankie said.
Oh, whatever. I don't give a shit about Frankie.
So anyway, so round 4. So we have Kenny announces that he's having respiratory issues. Him and Webb battle in that heat race, and Webb does the look back. I've heard there's some pretty cool pictures of Webb looking back at him.
I saw from I guess you could say the right angle. Mm-hmm. Or right angle if you're looking forward, left it. Yeah, it looked pretty cool. Just kind of a stamp it, kind of like the shooter.
Yeah, which I was waiting for the gun to come out too. You know,
he's like, that's old news. I got to do something.
Yeah. And then Kenny comes out, whole shots the main, and I mean, from 8 minutes on, I was counting to see like, okay, when's he gonna fade? And 12 minutes in, sure as shit, we start fading. And luckily, we had enough. We only faded to 5th because we were battling with Webb. And oh man, dude. How good was Webb's racecraft that night with Kenny? I
mean, Coop's just nuts, man. He's just
insane.
We've been seeing this for about a year. Like he started doing this a lot last year. Not so much outdoors and stuff, but like it's just who Coop is, and it reminds me a lot of the 250 days. Mm-hmm. Just the stuff that he could do, the way he could carve through the pack. And part of it is that KTM, that chassis and stuff. But man, he can keep that bike on a rope when he's coming around corners. He just stays so tight. And he's just, I don't know, man. I mean, it showed that he's got that bike dialed in. I mean, look, let's talk about his whoops.
How good? I was just about to say, how good is his whoops?
Whatever they figured out in that back end, I don't know what they were doing to the shock. I don't know if they messed with link settings, man. But that thing is tracking straight as an arrow. And his whoop speed is better than ever. It's crazy, man.
Not even jumping him.
I mean, it's not as good as Kenny and Malcolm, but it's right up there.
Oh, shit's wild.
It's crazy, man. It's good to see that.
So anyway, so Webb wins. Tomac gets 3rd. I mean, it's not going.
Yeah, you were doing good for a while on the podcast.
I was. Anyway,
it's like 2018 all over again.
Dude, here we are, right back at the beginning. So Webb wins, takes over 2nd place in points because Kenny gets 5th. Dude, Kenny looked worked after that race. And
still not as bad as that mud moto though.
No, but I mean, dude, we didn't see him though on with an interview after. He looked, dude, he was worked. So
yeah, man, I don't know. I think outdoors is going to be a struggle bus.
I think so too.
It's going to be a struggle bus, and I don't think it has anything heat related anymore. I think it just is.
Okay, sorry, we had a little air leak.
That's your fault.
Now that's going to cause me to do it.
It's your fault, bro. I don't have that. I can't cover up. I got to go like this. Okay.
That's the way it goes. Okay, so anyway, so Webb takes over 2nd in the points from Kenny there. Kenny looked worked after that race Wednesday. And then, like you said, we get the announcement during the week here, shingles, and we go into the Sunday race. I didn't even know he was going to race, to be really honest with you. I thought you were contagious when you had shingles, so.
I don't know too much about shingles, but when I heard that in the middle of the week or whatever it was, I'm like, oh, God. I'm like, Sunday's going to be trash.
So, anyway, then we go into Sunday, right? And we have a completely different Kenny.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. It's just part of the thing too is we kind of talked about this in the last year, and he's a little bit more hesitant. He's very precise in when he's going to take when he's going to push the pace and when he's not. We've seen it enough even last year, but mostly this year. Like, hey, races, I'm just not feeling it. I'll take a 5th. I'll take a 4th. I'll get the points. But we've talked about his racecraft for whatever reason has kind of gone downhill. But he works better from the front. Uh-huh. Well, I think a lot has to do with the fact that he didn't have to deal. It was just him and Coop. That was it. Yep. Now, granted, we know how he is. He's a little hesitant around Coop. He's a little hesitant around Barsha. Well, actually, a lot hesitant around Barsha. But it's just, they're out front. He's not dealing with anything else, just him and Coop. There's nobody else latched onto his rear wheel, trying to put it in on him in the corners. Just him and Coop. And I think that was another reason, or another thing. He was just by himself. You know, he didn't have to work his way through the pack. He didn't have to worry about, oh man, I got to hit this rhythm section perfect every lap. I just got this one guy in front of me. If he makes a mistake, I capitalize on it. I can gap. And there's the text from Cole.
Nice.
Guarantee it.
Nice. Yeah, so that was... Dude, I mean, I don't... How frustrating does it have to be for him? You just don't know. I mean, it's like we talked about last summer. Like, you just don't know. Are you going to get tired? Because once we got to 8 minutes in, 7 minutes in, I started counting and, like, watching and being like, okay, where's the fade? And then he just kept going farther and farther and farther away.
He just kept the gap it was like between 3 and 4 seconds or whatever it was, or 2 and 3 seconds. And he just managed it at that point. It's just, I know that it's the phrase that I coined, but it's just who he is. This is where he is now.
Is this who he is?
This is where he is now, man. There's days that he's just going to be feeling it, and there's days where he's just going to be on the struggle bus.
Yeah.
It's Kenny. This is going to be who Kenny is till he retires. You don't.
Did you get a little worried at the end, though? Webb was pretty close.
I
know Ken
I agree a little bit.
It, but Webb was pretty close.
I think that if there had been another lap, I think that Coop was on something those last couple laps. I mean, he was dropping it.
He picked up something in the one rhythm section, like the...
after they come... Or no. I'm trying to remember the exact track design. The very first rhythm section where he had that little single and then he kind of bounced in the face, he was manualing over it, so he wasn't getting that lift. He was manual over it, and then he was a different rhythm coming into it, where everybody, like I said, was just kind of single bouncing up and over. He was manually landing the front wheel on the top and then dropping over. And yeah, I think that's what he picked up, because nobody else was really doing it.
Yeah, there was some he picked up that was really fast. I have to go back and watch it again, but they commented about it. I think Ricky did.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't really see it, but he definitely picked up a whole bunch. So.
I only saw it the last lap, to be honest with you.
So with Webb, that move in the first corner on Tomac, I mean, what do you think of that?
I don't really care. I mean, it's the first turn. It's a flat left. I mean, everybody was bunched up.
He knew what he was doing, right?
Once again, it goes back to the whole thing I said in the 250s. Like, you're very aware when you're at that level.
Okay, great.
But I don't think that there was also any malicious intent. He wasn't trying to... Because the only reason I say that is because, and I even mentioned after the mud race from the last Sunday, there were so many times in that race that he could have teed off on Eli and just ran it in on him, and he didn't. He was very respectful. So all I think that is everybody was bunched up in the first turn. He knew Eli was there. Hey, I'm gonna just make him know that I'm there. Nothing any different than what Eli did to him in the mud race.
No.
But do I think that he was trying to run it in deep and take him out? No. No, Coop.
There's too many dudes.
That's not who Coop is anymore. Like, yeah, he gets in people's head. He messes with them. You know, he plays mind games. But the whole, I'm just super angry and aggro, that's not what Coop's doing anymore. No. So, no, I don't think he was trying to take him out, because, honestly, if he had done that, I think that he knew that there was a possibility he was going to go down in the process.
Yes.
So, because I've been seeing all this, and I don't know if you've seen it, but everybody's like, well, should Coop take out Eli? No. Why? He could have taken him out so many different times throughout this Utah stretch.
Yeah.
Hell, you could even go back to the first round when he passed him the first time, and then when Eli got him back, he could have teed off him on the left-hander.
Yep.
Why would he start now? Like, there's no point in it. What does he want to do? Take out Eli, still probably not win the championship, and then now you got to worry about that bullshit all over again?
Yeah.
So, no, I think that there's a level of respect between those two now. Mm-hmm. So, no, I had no problem with it.
I didn't either. I mean...
People, well, I've been seeing it a lot. People
About it. I've seen it, I've heard it. Okay, so how about Ando's main? Dude.
Bounces off the backside of a jump, goes flying through the air, and then gets stuck.
Into the other lane.
And then gets stacked up with him, Bloss, Freezy. Oh, my God.
Dude,
Barsha.
How about his bike stuck in Freezy's bike?
And Freezy's trying to go, and he's just looking at it like...
He stands there like, dude, what are you doing?
Like,
and then the track workers come over, and he's just like, I ain't in it.
He's like, I don't even care.
Yeah, when you guys get my bike out, just let me know.
And you know what? I honestly feel bad for him, too, because he was very racy Ricky's term, racy. He was very racy the first couple rounds. Racy. Yeah, racy. Very, and he had passed Barsha for the points in fourth.
Yeah.
And now that's just it.
That was something I forgot from round 4. Can we talk about Barsha's wheel blowing up?
You know what is crazy? And I saw pictures of the front end because they were talking about it. They think that the lug snapped.
Yeah.
Or the axle, I should say.
Yeah.
It snapped in the lug. I saw pictures of it. The axle didn't snap off. I don't know what the hell happened because I saw pictures of the front of it and the axle was not Like, it's not like the head of the axle was still in the fork lug and the rest of the axle was in the rim.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what happened there. I don't know if the lug nut came off and it backed out a little bit.
Did you see the replay they showed on the broadcast?
Yeah, he's just looking for his bike. Like,
yeah, he's like, where's it at? And then some lady's like, whoa. I don't know who that lady was running out of the tunnel, but she's just like, whoa.
What I thought was funny is he runs up to it and he was trying to go, and then he looks down and he goes,
shit, and then hobbles off. That was what we saw on Wednesday, him hobbling off. And
I was a little worried, actually, because none of us had saw what happened.
No.
I was a little worried that because the way he was hobbling, I didn't know if it was a knee or a hip. I'm like, oh, this is the last thing he needs right now. But then I just thought it was funny. He gets on the bike, he's like getting ready to go start it, and he's like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, and it would be interesting to know, like, did that braking cause that, or did the wreck cause that break? Like,
I honestly don't know, man, because that was
idea.
crazy. I just still don't know what happened. I'd have to go back and find the picture, but
Is he the biggest disappointment, though, of the 450 class there?
Well, I don't know what's going on with him, because if you
Bro, I'm telling you, it's the curse of the Justins. Justin Cooper, Justin Barsha, Justin Hill, and even somewhat Justin Brayton.
Yeah,
none of them are doing anything.
Yeah, Hill's been. I'd say Hill. Well, he wasn't as far up in points, but Hill has been very bad. I don't know what's going on with Barsha though, man. Because if you look, and I'm not talking about just his social media, everybody, dude, him and AP before AP moved to the Goat Farm were grinding out laps during the quarantine. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what it was, and he has never had altitude issues.
No,
because he's always been good at Thunder Valley, and he's always been good at Colorado and Utah.
Nobody's talked to him though. Like, I haven't heard anything on Pulp. I haven't heard anything through Main Event. I haven't heard anything anywhere about him.
The only other theory I've heard, and I highly doubt this because he'd already been through the situation, is the fact of his contract has been getting in his head. But I don't believe that because he went through this 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever it was, when he had the private deal at Monster Cup.
The contract's been in his head since the beginning of the year. He's been.
But I mean, as far as now, it's getting to him, and I don't really believe that. Like, why all of a sudden now, when he's in a spot where he knows he's not going to catch Coop, but he's got enough gap on Ando, all he has to do is just finish these races.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's more incentive, the money bonuses and stuff, but like, that's just a theory I've heard. Oh, it's finally what? Why would it now all of a sudden? No, I don't believe that. I don't know what his deal is.
No idea.
But we've also seen, like you said, a lot of people have been having issues.
Yep.
The
only other thing I got on here, did you, in the broadcast, they were showing Dino, they were following him, and then he was lapping Marty.
Yeah.
Could you hear him yell?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Thought that was awesome.
Dude, how about Martine? Can we talk about Martine, though?
Marty has been bucking the trend until last
But he's been going all over the place. That sixth, what was it? Was it Wednesday night that he got sixth?
Yeah.
And then the 2 rounds before that, he got 6th or 7th or whatever it was. Dude, he's kind of showing, man.
Marty's here to party.
It's the 450 thing. It really was. Like, everybody was like, oh, I don't know. No, it's a 450 thing.
Yep.
And I'm really curious to see, because I haven't heard anything if Tedders are going outdoors with him.
No.
I really hope
to do an interview.
I hope he gets a chance to ride outdoors. I'd really like to see it because
he's not planning it.
That sucks. That really does, because I think that he needed to ride outdoors to cement the fact of him getting a ride for next year. But dude, in that heat race, he was on one. Kelly Cross run it. He was on one. He was gone. You know,
Party Marty just partying all day long.
I'm not a big fan of Davalos because he's done some dumb stuff, and we're not going to get into it, but everybody kind of knows what he's done. He's done some dumb stuff, but dude, it's been nice to see, because there's always been the talk, is it a 450 thing? Is it a 450 thing? And now proving that it really was a 450 thing.
Yep.
It's been nice to see, man, because he's been a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
Because when Martine's on, it's fun to watch him ride. He's very technical, but also when he does the dumb stuff, you're like, no!
Damn it, Martine.
But can we talk about Bloss for a second, though?
Solid.
It's awesome, right? It's cool to see with him.
But this is what happens.
It is.
He gets hurt in the offseason or something, misses all the testing time, misses all the training
but
time.
But it makes you wonder, though.
Rides his way into shape during the season.
If he didn't get hurt so much, it'd make you wonder, where would he be right now?
Oh, man, I don't know.
Because I know he got the gift handed to him when Marty went down. But, dude, after he went down, though, and Dino lashed onto him, and even Barsha was catching Dino, like, dude, he didn't waver.
No.
He didn't waver. He was smart with him. And then when Dino got around him, when he scrubbed the finish, and then he knew, hey, I'm going to check up a little bit, pivot to the inside and run it in on him. And then I like Benny. I always have. He's a good kid. He comes from a good family. It sucks to think that if he didn't get hurt all the time, this is where he would be.
He's still young, though, man.
He's only in his early 20s.
I was going to say, we got a lot of years that he could, if he doesn't get hurt here, all of a sudden we could see.
You think he would be a perennial top 5 if he didn't get hurt all the time?
I don't know. Maybe. It's hard to tell, dude. Because, like I said, we've seen this before.
We've seen it outdoors.
Yeah. By the time you get to the end of the year, the field gets depleted a little bit, and all of a sudden he's raced himself into shape and tested his bike into race spec for him, and then by the end of the year he's like battling with these top dudes on and off. So I don't know, man. We'll see. I got 2 left, so
yeah. Well, I agree, and also the main incident was a bad start. That was his fault. But when him going down, he was working his way through. That wasn't his fault. Like, he just got it. Who did he get into it with? I think it was Freeze. Either Freeze got underneath him, and they just dropped down because with the elevation and stuff of the berm. I don't know what it was. I'm thinking though. So that really wasn't his fault because but I expect him to get a top 5 and maybe even battle for a podium in these next 2 rounds. I really do. I think he's good. Eli though. When he wasn't catching Coop, he just mailed it in.
Oh, yeah.
He settled it. He knew he didn't have to catch
100%.
him. Same thing, while he was pushing through the pack on Sunday and stuff. I don't want to talk about it until the next show. I think he's got this championship in the bag. I think unless he has an Eli moment, everybody knows I watch the shows. I'm not a big Eli fan, but it's good to see him finally pull his head out of his ass and get this shit going.
Yep.
But yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy all the stuff that's been going on these last couple rounds. Like, there's so many moving parts, Coop, I feel bad about Coop though, is had he not gotten hurt in Texas, do you think him and Eli would be battling for this title right now?
Oh yeah, really close.
Yeah.
Be really close.
I guess the only thing left is winners for Wednesday. We're going back east. East is coming back to us.
Here's what I got. The only question I have. Does Shane or Sexton win Wednesday?
Shane wins. Because I'm going to be honest.
We're going to be tied going into the.
Because I'm going to be honest with you.
Great.
And I didn't get a chance to watch the last show you did. I know you probably talked about it. But let's be real. The only reason Chase won that mud race is because Shane went down. Yeah. I think right now, this is not a knock on Chase, but I just think right now, whatever Shane's got going on, Shane is just a tick better than Chase.
Yep.
If Chase gets a start, it could be interesting, but we know that Yamaha's on point. I think Shane wins, and I'll reserve my opinion for Sunday after Wednesday, but I honestly think Shane actually wins this title. I really do.
Interesting.
Because I think he's going to have a lot more help come the East-West Showdown.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about the Geico boys. They got a lot more of their own stuff going on. Like, Christian is just trying to finish races. Jet wants to win races.
Yep.
Hunter is he's trying not to get hurt. He's trying to make it into outdoors. J-Mart's obviously not there anymore. Frenchie's going to do his own thing, but then you got Justin Cooper, you got Colt Nichols. Cooper knows that he's out of the title at this point. Like, he's not going to win the title. I think Shane wins this championship. I really do. I think if he wins Wednesday, I think he wins his title.
Yep.
Which sucks for Chase. If that's the case, Chase. Man. That's the case.
Man, at least you got 450 ride.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So who wins Wednesday in the 450s, though?
I don't fucking know. Tomac or Webb.
I don't think Eli wins these next 2 rounds. I don't think he even... I just don't. I think unless he gets a start and he has a clear track, I'm going to go off and say that Coop wins the next 2 rounds. I think that, like I said, if Coop had another lap, I think Coop wins Sunday. Nothing against Kenny. Anything to do with... Man, the East right now is so depleted.
Oh, it's horrible.
You got any surprise? You think any surprises happen?
Nope.
You think Colt's another podium guy?
Yep.
I'll be curious to see... The only surprise that has been with the East is Jalek Swoll. He's been fast. Well, dude, he's been running 6. What do you...
I bet in the shootout he won't even crack the top 10.
Well, I'm not talking about the shootout. I'm talking about
I'm just saying. I mean, you're like, oh, he's a surprise. Surprise of what? I mean, you have Shane and you have Sexton.
But the thing is that the reason why I say he's surprises is because if you look at Jalek's races up until this whole thing, all he did was hit the ground. And now he's actually putting in. He's getting close to the top.
Well, he's finishing, yes. That is different.
That's a surprise to me because I made the comment when we did this preview to get ready for. I said the guy that was going to mail it in was Jalek Swoll. He was just going to be there and finish races. Other than that, and I don't know. These next 2 rounds are going to be interesting. I don't really see a lot of fireworks though happening at the last round.
The shootout I think is going to be wild.
Well, it depends on what goes on. It depends on who's where. I think we're going to see
some major swings and craziness go on.
As far as points? In the West? Because the East is kind of solidified.
All of it.
Really?
All of it, yep. Like, I'm with you, and I think Shane wins Wednesday. I'm not 100% convinced that he wins the title. even if he wins Wednesday, because I think there's going to be some wildness that's going to happen. Dude, it could be a situation of him and Sexton, who hits the ground least that night.
It's true.
To be really honest with you.
That's true. Here's a question.
I just think we're lining up, the stars are lining for us, that the 250 race is going to be absolutely amazing.
It'll be the first time in a while that the actual East-West shootout, like, as a whole, has an impact on the points. Because the last couple of years, the East-West guys have been very, very respectful.
Yeah.
I do agree with the fact that I think that there is going to be some craziness on that end of it. I just don't know what's going to happen, man. Like, I don't know.
I don't know either. I just think it's going to be wild.
I think the pro circuit guys are going to have something. I think McAdoo is going to cause shit for people. I really do. I think now that he has the speed to run up front.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe Mosman just takes out Chaser Shane just because he wants to. Like, for real.
It'd be awesome.
So, yeah.
So, all right, cool. Well, this wraps up another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show presented by TLR Coatings and Durango Guitar Works. Is that noise coming from his phone?
I think so. Just text it away?
Yeah, it was.
Good Lord.
Whatever you were doing was making noise, bro.
This is like
No,
Marks.
it's the chair.
It's like fucking Marks, man.
No, that wasn't the chair, dude. It was like a clicky noise from your phone.
Now I know what Mathis goes through.
I do too.
Dude, I'm posting videos. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
not-
I mean, that's good.
See, that's what
but
Mark
bro,
says,
let's-
too.
let's
Mark says the same thing.
Let's silence it. I mean, he's probably over there playing video games
What
or
the
something.
hell?
I don't know,
Somebody on
man.
your roof?
Let's just
Aftermath show trying to get you some more relevant.
Let's just wrap this up. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We will be back to wrap up the entire series here after round 7 because, like I said, we're just too busy to do the midweek shows. We are not on the level of Pulp or any of those. You do. I'm telling you, whatever you're clicking, like when you click, it makes a noise.
And then we're going to have an outdoor preview show first week of July, right?
Yeah, probably. So thanks for tuning in. We will see everybody next week to wrap this whole thing up.